Hello, everyone. This is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona, and I love to show you what I have been working on in my craft room. I like to show you how to use the products you have, giving you some tips and tricks for different things. So today I am making a Christmas card using a fun technique that you may have tried before, but sometimes we forget about all those different techniques and we just need a fun little reminder about them. And also one thing to know is that today Stampin' Up! Announced its retiring and discontinuing list for the September through December mini catalog. So there will be a lot of products in this catalog that are retiring, meaning we won't see them anymore. They're supposed to be good through January 3rd, but we're thinking some things will sell out, and actually some things already have. Some things are discounted up to 60%. So let me know if you're curious about something. Hey, Sandy, thanks for joining. Thanks ahead of time for everyone who is going to pop on and watch today. I'm going to be doing some coloring, so I may not be able to see all the comments. So let's get down to my workspace and get started on today's project. I started playing with this stamp set a little late. Well, it's November, but a lot of you I know have already started your holiday cards. Some of you are already finished with them. Hey, Beth, thanks for joining. But I just started playing with this and I really, really love it. It's the Joy of Noel bundle on page 30 of Stampin' Up's mini catalog. This is the stamp set, and then there are coordinating dies as well. If you stick with me through the end, I do have some other card samples to show you. So it's really gorgeous, and especially with some of the papers. The coordinating designer series paper with this one is called Joy of Christmas, and let me quick show you some of the designs. Just really rich designs in this designer series paper. I love it, love it. So we have some fun holiday designs on one side, and then there's some neutral designs on the other. So they can be used for both your holiday cards and I believe your masculine cards. So this is a really, really fun. The musical notes, to me, it goes really well with Noel. Just really gorgeous. So this is the Joy of Christmas. And just one quick note about this bundle that I'm using today and the designer series paper that is retiring, and we won't see that back next year. So if it's something you like, be sure to grab it sooner rather than later. I won't try to put that back in the package while we're on. But let me show you. This is the card we are going to make today. As I bring it a little closer, can you see the shimmer in and shine on that gorgeous card? Just using that big florals greenery from the Joy of Noel stamp set. One thing you probably know about me is that I'm not a big fan of coloring. However, this one really lends itself well to coloring, and we're going to color with Wink of Stella. Have you ever done that? So we're going to do a little bit of watercoloring, and I will show you how I do that. Hey, Dicina, thanks for joining. So let's get our stamping things out, our pieces, so you can see what I'm working on. So I have a very vanilla piece that I will be stamping on, and that measures 4 by 3.5. And also these measurements will be on my blog at KimPlaysWithPaper.com. So if you miss out on those, please go there. Piece of the designer series paper that's 5 1/4 by 4. A thick, very vanilla cardstock, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 and a half. And then I have 2 small gold foil pieces that are about a 1/2 inch by 4 inches, a little bit of linen thread, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to be stamping on this very vanilla sheet that is 4 by 3.5. The first thing, isn't this sentiment fun? Making spirits bright. I was thinking about doing using the Brood for You stamp set and adding that to it because it just sounds fun. So I have cherry cobbler ink here, and I'm gonna get that all inked up. It's just a tap, tap, tap. That's our Stampin' Up ink pads are just so they're so fresh. So you don't need to press very hard to get ink on there. So that's just gonna go right here at the bottom, making spirits bright. It also, to me, would go well with like the light bulbs, the Merry, Bold, and Bright. Then I have my memento, and we'll just ink. When we have a big, kind of a larger stamp like this, I like to ink from the top. Gives me a better opportunity to get coverage everywhere. And you can see I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat. I do that with a lot of my photopolymer stamps. So the photopolymer are those totally clear and see-through, so you can see exactly where you're stamping. So that is that. So then I am going to bring in just one of our acrylic blocks, Stampin' Up's acrylic blocks that we put, that's what we put our stamps on. But in this instance, it's going to serve as my little color palette, my paint palette. And I was using this earlier. So when people buy an ink pad from Stampin' Up, I recommend buying the re-inker as well, so that when the pad needs to be freshened up, you have the re-inker in case that color ever retires, and you can use it for projects like this one. So I have Old Olive, and I just need a dot of it, just a dot. This, I could use that, but I'm afraid it might have dried up since I last used it. So my Old Olive is here. I have a little bit of, it doesn't take much, and a little bit of shaded spruce right there. And then I'm going to do the cherry cobbler. Just a little bit. And then I am going to bring in my Wink of Stella. Generally, the Wink of Stella is used to add shimmer and shine to projects that you've already colored or stamped. But this little fun technique, I'm going to shake mine up a little bit. This is what it looks like. Once you open, I should have not opened one, but you when you take it out of the package, there's a little black ring. So you pull it off, pull the ring off, and then put this piece back on so you can start using it. And you don't have to squeeze. You just kind of shake to get that the shimmer down into the brush. Hey, Kathy, thanks so much for joining. We are making a super pretty holiday card using the Joy of Noel stamp set with a fun technique for watercoloring. So, hey, Nora, thanks for joining. All right, I am going to dip down now here, and you can make this as dark or as light as you want. So I'm just going to pull my color away just a little bit. And start coloring on my leaves. So these leaves I did in Old Olive. And you can see how easy that color goes on. And from the position here, you might not be able to see the shimmer, but for sure, you can see a little bit there. And in person, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So you just kind of keep coloring all the little pieces. Like I say, you can make it as dark or as light. You can just go back to your palette here and pick up the ink that you want. And just coloring is such a breeze. And what I like, it has such a fine tip that it's easy to get into all these little corners like that. And that too, I always have to make sure I get all the leaves, because by the time I'm finished, I'll have forgotten when. All right, so then I did start with the lightest color first. I'm going to move on to the shaded spruce so you can see how that works. But to clean these brushes, you just kind of flick that until it runs clear. I might not have had to do that because the shaded spruce is darker, but I just wanted to show you how that works. Hey, Christine, thanks for joining. So then here's my shaded spruce. I know I have my shaded spruce. The one thing to keep in mind is to remember when you put your colors on, it might help if you wrote on your grid paper what colors you're using, so that you don't accidentally dip it in the wrong color and get all the colors mixed up. So then you just kind of go back to your shaded spruce. Again, you can make it as dark or as light, just kind of pulling that color out. And continuing on with all the leaves. And you can use any color palette that you like. Stampin' Up! Offers just a really nice selection of greens. We have Granny Apple Green, Old Olive, Shaded Spruce, Pretty Peacock. So this is just the palette that I chose. So you could stamp a bunch of these and then just sit down in front of the TV and color. All right, so I'm going to clean that off and then we'll go to the cherry cobbler. Hey, Christy, sorry if I've missed some people as I'm coloring. I'm concentrating, so you can see that has run clear. So then I'm just going to go into my cherry cobbler and pull out the cherry cobbler and just do our little holly berries. I just love how that goes on. And there are, I was talking with some people at my class the other day about all of the different ways we can color. We have watercoloring with Wink of Stella. We have watercoloring with the watercolor brushes. We can color with watercolor pencils. We can color with blender pens. We can color with the Stampin' Blends. So there are lots of choices, and this is just one of the ways that I was going to show you how to color this image today. If there's something that you want to particularly see, let me know. I'd love to try some more coloring. But so we would just wipe that till it's clean. I'm going to leave that so you don't have to watch me do that. I did pre-color one ahead of time, so we are all ready to go with that and put our card together. This is the Joy of Noel bundle. It will be retiring, so I just started playing with it, and I just love it. I am just going to fold that just in case. I think it's dry, but we just don't know. All right, so I do have my... it's very vanilla thick. I like to use that for a card base. 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. Give that a little burnish with my bone folder here on both sides. I'm going to bring in that piece of the Joy of Christmas, 5 1/4 by 4, and affix this piece. You can see I didn't like my first sentiment, so I turned it over and used the other side. That's the greatest thing about paper. You have two sides, and then my motto, like for class, is it's only paper. So if you make a mistake, you'll just try again. All right, so that fits just there like so. Oh, so pretty. And then I have those gold foil strips. They measure about 1/2 inch by 4. placing a glue dot on each end and one in the middle. I'm just gonna tuck that. I'm not overlapping it. I'm just tucking it here at the end. And it's better than using a whole piece. I have 2 of those, so I will put that right here. And then we need to add our linen thread. So this is one of the staples in my craft room. I think that's about 18 inches. I always take more than I need, but when I do this bow, I like to start from up here, and I let that hang, and I wrap it around, and I wrap it around, and then tie a bow here in the middle. Let me get that going. I even know the item number for that one by heart. I love it. It just adds a little to the project. It's kind of rustic there for those leaves. Trim it a little bit, and then we'll put it on our card base. And if you hang with me, I have a few samples from some cards I've created using this. Like I said, I've been having a really fun time. Sometimes, I get too many, well, there's never too many stamp sets, but I get caught up in other things, and then I don't get to the ones I want. All right, that just goes on our, with a little border around there. And of course, it needs some jewels, so the festive pearls work really well. We could use either the cherry cobbler jewels or the gold on that. Either one. Where is my pick tool? I don't see it, so I'm just gonna have to use my fingers. Oh, here it is. Over by my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, let's see. Such indecision here. We'll go with gold. And those are usually done in odds. So I'll do 3 of those. So that, my 7 friends, is the finished card using the Joy of Noel stamp set. As I mentioned, it is retiring, so if you like that, I would get it sooner rather than later. All right, as promised, let me show you some other cards I've made. And like I said, if you want to see some other coloring techniques next time, give me a shout. All right, this one uses the Noel, and that's stamped in shaded spruce, cut out with a stylish shape, one of the circles. Some of that designer series paper, the Joy of Christmas. Just gorgeous. I don't know, the colors just really, they just pop out and speak to me. Oh, and there is the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder under here as well. The other embossing folder that I think goes really well with this set, this one is from the annual catalog. It's the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. So we have real red shaded spruce. So I stamped the sentiment there in real red, and then joyous here in shaded spruce. Just die cut a couple of circles from the stylish shapes dies from that Joy of Christmas designer series paper. And I did color some of our pearls with real red Stampin' Blends and some of the red ribbon. Just love this. I'm just so in love with this. I'm just so excited, and I can't wait to keep playing. So this is just another color combo. I just switched up. I couldn't decide which one I liked. So this one I used the shaded spruce base, the real red Merry Melody 3D embossing folder, and the Joyous Noel with the designer series paper. All right, then I did use the die cuts on this one. So I die cut the Noel with our gold foil. Added this designer series paper. Let me see if I can get a quick name for it. Maybe it's on the other page, but it just has all those gold hints in it. And I just love it. Oh, it's the Joyful 12 by 12 designer series paper. And then the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. And that's a cherry cobbler design, with very vanilla. Then we made a couple of gift card holders. Hey, Noreen, thanks for popping in. So this uses our Joy of Christmas 12 by 12 designer series paper. I love it that the notes go really well with the Noel. So we stamped the Noel with cherry cobbler, and then we heat embossed the Joyous in gold with that. More gold foil, stylish shaped dies, some jewels. This is a gift card holder. So you open it up and then there's space for your gift card right here. Gorgeous. And then one last one. Again, this designer series paper, just love it. The Joyful 12 by 12 and the Noel gold foil, the gift card holder. So that's what I've gotten so far. Just love this set. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. And you'll have to tell me if have you tried watercoloring with the Wink of Stella brush before? Give it a try. It's super fun and gives you super gorgeous results. So all the details are on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com. Thanks everybody for joining me today. Thanks for spending some time. Have a great rest of the weekend. If you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. And have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.